Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2025 Pro Sport World Championship, brought to you by the D&D Sports Network. I'm Kyle Oakes, alongside Greg Maynard, and we are doing the final three interviews. Greg,
how's it going tonight, Scott?
Very good, very good.
You're here in another World Championship, the first ever Pro Sport World Championship. You made it to the finals of it. How many World Championship finals have you been in?
Well, the championship finals that I've been in, it's probably a pretty good question. So we won 4.
Start there. I guess you won 4 of them.
We won 4, and then I was in the finals with Tazzy. Got reserve 1 year. A little female off of Mason. I was in the final 3 of the PKC World Hunt. My first one with Bellerzan. So that's 6 finals. Second with Mason 1 year, 7. So 4 wins. I'm saying
don't
7.
Forget about Echo, the AKC World Hunt. Whenever you was reserve world champion.
There's 8. There's 8. So 3 reserves.
Yeah.
And 4 wins.
4 wins. So that's pretty impressive in its own right. 4 world champion wins is quite an accomplishment over a period of time you've been hunting. But that's pretty awesome. So tell us a little bit about the one you're hunting this weekend. You've got a stable full of good dogs, and this one here is kind of not really new to the scene, but kind of new to you handling him and getting him here. And tell us a little bit about this one.
Yep, Mojo's Buckle Up. He's a 4-year-old out of rodeo, electric rodeo, and his mama is UKC world champion. Letting Loose Lila, owned by Gerald Keegan. Keegan bred Lila to rodeo, and I went up there, picked him out as a pup. He was the one I liked. He was the one I thought was cool. I brought him home, kept him at the house a while. He's traveled to different places. Spurlock had him a little while. Randy had him a little bit, and then Alan Carlson probably put the most training on him. And from there, Levi Stevenson bought half of him, and he got second in the AKC World Hunt with him last year. He got 5th in the UKC World Hunt with him last year. Kept him this summer, and I got him back, and I guess I've had him about 2 months.
Yep. You've had him a couple months here, and I know you're really good, about getting a dog right, knowing when it's the right time to take a dog to a hunt. You're not like some others. Myself, you don't go every weekend, but when you go, it seems like you got one ready to be there, not just showing up to pay an entry fee.
So, yeah.
But
I always wanted him back.
Yeah.
After I sold him to Levi, I always thought, well, he'll get tired of him, and I'll get him back. Finally, we got time to.
Yeah. So you touched, that of course rodeo is a world champion. Lila's a world champion. So we got 2 world champions here, and Buck got 3rd, like you said, or second in the AKC World Hunt,
5th in the UKC,
and 5th in the UKC World Hunt this last year. And here you are in the finals of a World Hunt now. I did get the privilege of drawing him on Tuesday night in the early round. We had quite the coon hunt. I forget how many coons you treat in that cast, but he looked really good in that cast. He treated, I think, 3 or 4 coons in that cast, and just looked super done it. And then you was the one that knocked me and Molly out of it last night, and he treated 4 pretty stoutly there last night. 7, what do you have, 7 1/4 or 7.75?
7 1/4.
7 1/4 plus. But the little dog is hitting on all cylinders right now, it seems like.
He's done very good for us. We've been tickled here in the last couple of weeks. He's looked really good.
So this will be what, 4 generations here of Mojo dogs you've hunted here and competed with, and so what you got? I hate to, this is the first ever Pro Sport World Hunt. Tell us a little bit about your experience here.
Man, I think it's great. Everybody's so competitive, and I think that's why this thing, this Pro Sport thing, has went as good as it has, because everybody that comes here kind of knows what's going on. It's the best of the best. They've all got good dogs. They want to hunt with the best dogs. And that's kind of why I think this thing has went. Mountain Gate, Ohio. Awesome place. Cody Sipe and the boys have done awesome with the guides. I don't know anybody that's been like just in bad coon hunting. So I think that's helped a bunch. Judging last night looked like it was awesome through every round. You know, the non-hunting judge thing. Looked like you guys come up with a very good selection of judges and guides, and that's the two things that probably it takes to put on a really good hunt.
Yeah, you've always, you know, you was a part of pro sport till just here about 2 weeks ago. You know, you sold your part out, but you was very instrumental in the planning of this. You've always been big with me on the hunts we go to. You know, put them in coon friendly places. Put them where the best coon dog wins the coon hunt, and the most coons treat, and they've
everybody will have a good time that way.
Yeah. Kyle, you kind of touched earlier the early rounds, 200 and how many coons we scored
from Monday through Thursday on early rounds only. So this is not counting the late round cars. They scored on 266 coons.
266 coons.
Wow,
I know.
That's awesome.
I know several casts is treating on 6 to 8 to 9 coons a cast. It's unbelievable. This place is amazing. You know, they've been really good to the coon hunters here, but
and then 2 or 3 when it's over that don't get counted.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know, you don't even count those.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been really good. Scott, tell us your little dog strong points before we go out here and close out. You know, what's your little dog strong points?
He's just a little cooner, you know. Really, if I had to describe him, he's just coony. That's the best way I can describe him, you know.
Seems to be really accurate. I hunted with him when Levi had him. You know, I hunted with him this weekend, you know, a couple times, and the little dog, when he settles to where, you know, when he comes treat, he's got a coon over his head, seems to be. So.
Yep. Good about having one. He's just coony. Always has been. His mama, I got to give her the credit on a lot of that. Lila was really, really coony to me. She just tree any kind and tree a lot of them and tree them very fast. So, I got to give a little of that credit. No, I got to give a lot of that credit to Lila.
Yeah. Keegan, like you said, you know, you told me your buddy, before I knew Keegan, your old buddy in Keegan, you know, Gerald Keegan up in Michigan, you know, he's coon dogs. That's exactly how you introduced it to me as, you know, as coon dogs. He owns coon dogs. But one more thing before we get off here. There's another rodeo dog in the final with you tonight also, and we're going to interview him in a little bit. But as a breeder, out of your rodeo dogs, you won the world championship. You got to be awful proud sitting here in this spot tonight, having 2 out of rodeo in the finals.
Yeah, that's it was really great to see Andrew be the one to be in, because that got in, because he truly deserves it. That kid's done a real job with that dog, hunted him hard and kept him through the good times and the bad times, and I appreciate that. So kudos to Andrew for sure, and I'll be rooting for him too.
Yeah, one last question I'd like to ask you, and this is a question that a lot of our viewers have been asking throughout the whole week. And obviously, you're no stranger to being in this seat, sitting in the finals of a world championship. You've won the world hunt. What is your strategy as a handler for Scott Engle coming into this final cast?
Man, there's probably people that plan a whole lot farther ahead than me, but I just kind of go with the flow, you know, let the dog do it. And most of the time, if you're going to win, you're going to win. And take all that handling and throw it out the window. I mean, honestly, if I could, I don't get into all that. So
yeah,
I'm not a real good handler. I don't claim to be. I just try to have a good dog.
I've drawn him enough and been with him enough. Scott's watching tonight on film. He's cool and calm. And just kind of calls his dog as it goes. Knows the rules really well, and he ain't gonna speak up unless he needs to speak up. And, but Scott, other than that, anybody else you want to thank before we close out here? You got anybody you want to?
Oh goodness, wife and kids at home, Oakley and Brantley, and they're probably watching. Brantley plays football at 6:30, so they're warming up. My wife Erica, Randy Morgan, my partner. Randy's the best. He's sitting at home watching. Levi Stevenson, our other partner. Thank them guys. They've been a lot of people kind of instrumental in that I couldn't think. I'd forget somebody going through, but definitely the wife and kids and my partners on this dog. You guys, you and Adam Campbell for putting this hunt on. D&D, obviously, you guys are taking it to the next level with Ashley Dalton with this live stream stuff. The Coon Club here. JJ behind the scenes, like everybody's gonna forget him, but he's working his butt off.
You daggone right. He's got all the buttons to push over there.
That's right.
But yeah, other than that, Scott, we wish you luck tonight. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
I'll be out there commentating, so don't let my loud mouth bother you out there. But good luck, best of luck.
Keep it down.
I'll keep it down. I know my limits. So.
Yeah. So before our viewers go anywhere, we are going to go to a short commercial break, and coming up next, we're going to have Homer with Austin Gentry. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, at the Pro Sport World Championship. I'm Kyle Oakes, and we've got another winner here. Greg, introduce them.
We've got my good friends from the great state of Georgia. Is that correct?
Yes, Alabama.
And Alabama over there. So we got Brian Hudson. He is the owner of the Buck Creek Homer Dog, and we've got the handler here, Austin Gentry, from the great state of Alabama. Guys, congratulations on making it to the first ever Pro Sport World Championship final cast. How's it feel to be here, Austin?
Good feeling.
Good feeling. Brian?
Feels really good.
How's the owner? How's it feel?
Feels good. Been going for a couple of years trying to get to this spot.
There's people been going a lot longer than that. So. but yeah. I'll start out. Me and Brian, we talk several times throughout the week. I consider him one of my friends, and we talk a lot. And he sends me a video, or he don't send me a video. He sends me a picture. I believe it was just last week. How long you owned the dog?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. So the day before he takes possession of him, he sends me a picture of him. My exact text was to him, buy him. His text back was, I already did. So with that being said, you've owned this dog about 2 weeks, and all I got to say is, wow. You come up here. He actually, Brian gets with me and he says, hey, I need a handler for a dog, man. And Brian's supporting us up here. He brought a stable of dogs with him, and he wanted to enter everything he could. And he said, hey, I need a handler for a dog. You didn't show up till Tuesday night, correct?
Correct.
So Boo Boo had doubled up on Monday night, Clifford Rivers, and Clifford's probably a little bit aggravated at himself right now because he doubles Homer up. Gets the 2 cast wins on Homer on Tuesday night, and Homer draws Battle Axe. Was it the late round?
Late round.
Yeah. So on Friday night in the late round, and Homer ends up knocking Axe out where Boo Boo got her in. But his scores has been very impressive, all week. I'm not sure with I know he put up really good scores when Boo Boo, hunted him and stuff, but Austin
2,300
points
in four casts.
How many trees has he made of the 24?
It was 4, 8, 14 trees, I think.
14 trees. Any circle trees in there?
One
circle tree, the rest all plus. That's pretty daggone impressive, boys. That's pretty impressive. Austin, tell us a little bit about him,
Well, like I said, we was actually at Bush's house at the qualifier for this hunt, and me and Ward and Bush, we laid up on the couch watching football, and I seen that dog come up for sale, and I sent it to Brian. I said, I know we bought a bunch of dogs here lately, but I think we need to buy this one. And he said, we'll get him bought. And they pulled a little prank on me. I was texting the guy that had him, and Brian ended up just calling and buying the dog. And anyway, we got him. I've hunted him, at the house. And I just told Brian, I said, all I can tell you about him is he has his coons when he gets treed, And I know the Dunlaps up here raised and trained him, and they've done really well with him. And I was looking forward to hunting him up here. I was going to try to get Cowboy in and then try to hunt Homer, but we found Boo Boo to hunt Homer the first night, and he doubled him up, and here we are.
Yeah, it worked out really well. Boo Boo, Clifford Rivers, he gets his dog in, and Boo Boo's a top handler. So you just didn't go get anyone from the street.
No, I had a plan. I know he might be a little favorable with the Buck Creek dogs too.
Yeah, so it worked out good. But you touched on the Dunlaps. Chuck Dunlap, Donnie Dunlap, Colton Dunlap. They breed their own dogs, kind of like Scott. They breed their own line of dogs, hunt their own line of dogs. And, this is a good dog. I actually drawed Homer and Colton, been 2 or 3 years ago with Molly when they was both just kind of puppies, and we was in a pro classic down at Mount Orb, and the dog, I think, like 2 of the 3 nights we both got in, and hunted off, and man, we had some really good hunts, but he was a extremely hard going dog. When he parked, he had coons, had a good mouth, just a really solid dog. And Colton and his dad, Chuck both are known for, starting them, getting them started, putting them in a few hunts and they turn them and move on to the next one. So, that's kind of a little bit of the background of him. But
I'm impressed. He's impressed me. Early last night, he trees 4 coons in a den. And then late, he treed 3 coons to himself, and he's impressed me. I'm excited.
Yep. So Austin, how old are you, Austin?
29.
29 years old. How long you been coon hunting?
Started when I was probably in the 7th grade, 6th, 7th grade.
Yeah. So you've been hunting
a while.
Yeah, for a while. But 29's young,
Right.
29's young. You've had several great accomplishments coon hunting. You was in the TOC final, which was a great big hunt. You're in the finals of the world hunt here. What's I know you've been in truck finals and different stuff like that, but is this the biggest? I know the TOC and this one, is these the biggest stages you've been on so far?
Right. The TOC, I mean, we got second, 130,000, but this would be, I know the money would be, not as much, but this would be the one,
Yeah, it's a world hunt.
Championship.
The world hunts, Scott, he was on here earlier. He's won 4 of them, and it don't matter what organization it is. A world hunt is a world hunt. A world title is something they can't take away from you. You're remembered as a world champion, so it's big. Brian, me and you've not known each other long, probably 2 or 3 years since we've been doing pro sport here, and I'm taking your entry money and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Getting to know you, but how long have you been doing this? I know you love the coon hunt. I talk to you. You're always pleasure hunting.
Probably, from my high schooler to now, on and off, probably 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
But really, I got real big into the field trial beagles and, did the big, all you can do with field beagles, and then got back into coon hunting, and it's just one of those things that you just love, and it's something you enjoy, and you're doing it for money, and and it's it's I think there's more prestige in it, versus the Beagles.
Yeah.
But it's been a lot of great people in this sport.
Oh, there's a, everybody asks me why you do this for. Why? Hey, I love the people, man. I love people. I love being around people. I love having a good time.
I'll post the video of you singing, playing cornhole.
That's the thing is people don't realize the fellowship.
Oh, it's like me and you, like we talked. Me and you, I feel developed a pretty good relationship with each other in a short period of time.
Right,
here,
and it's like that. Also, this is pro sport. This is their first world hunt. And I tell you what I've noticed is the way everybody has had a blast here. Pro sport. Did we have 1,000 entries? No, you didn't. But you had a good entry for your first year. But what you did have was great fellowship.
Great fellowship.
And that feels better when you lose and you get in your truck and you're going down the interstate. If you entered $3,000,
now we may not lose now.
If you enter the money and you've lost, but you still had a good time.
Absolutely,
yeah. You can still pick up the phone and call whoever won or call whoever's still here and say, "Man, I had a blast. I can't wait till next year."
Yeah, it's like I say, I've always told everyone, because you get the naysayers and the people that don't believe in you and the people that want to see you do bad. I mean, that's just, there's a lot of people that way. But if you come to one of our hunts and you can't have fun and you can't laugh and giggle when you leave there, there's something bad wrong with you. You better go home and look in the mirror and ask yourself what's wrong with you.
And that's one thing I can say about this world hunt, even though it's exciting to be in the top 3, but what's more exciting to me is the friends that are here that I've made in this sport.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's not I know these guys or the handlers, it's extra bonus money or whatever. To me, it's like it's the hound. It's the friends you make.
So, yeah. So we'll talk a little bit more and talk about fellowship and stuff. I'm down here camping. You're camping right down the road from it. I'd called him. He said, "Where are you staying at?" I'm going to get an Airbnb. I said, "Man, rent a camper." He's like, "What are you talking about, rent a camper?" I said, "Well, you can rent campers. Go online, rent a camper." But this is, I camped at the PKC World Hunt and had a great time, and I'm camping here now. And hey, I'll pull that camper a lot more, from here on out. It was good. It was good time. But I want to ask this question before we close out, and probably a few more before it's over. But how'd you come about? I know you had some other handlers along the way. But tell us about running on to Austin. I know Austin really hit the state races hard and national races, female races. Won a couple of them with a couple different dogs and has really done good there. But how do you and Austin connect?
So I had a dog named Rhonda, and I had posted her for sale. She was a coon dog. She was a fun dog. She treated coons well. I posted her for sale. Austin calls me, says, "Hey," I guess it was Brian, his dad, was looking for a dog. Said we would come look at her. So, they come and looked at her. We hunted her, and I told them on the second turn loose, after listening what they wanted and what is, they were looking for the next level dog. I didn't know him from Adam's house cat.
Yeah.
And I said, "Look, I'm just going to shoot you straight. We can spend all night here. This is not the dog you're looking for."
Yeah.
I said, "It's just not."
Yeah.
And I don't, you got a busy week. You're trying to find a dog. You took a week off of work. I don't want to waste much of your time.
Yeah.
She's a nice dog, but she is quirky, as we see.
Yeah.
Well, I would see Brian. This is when they were hunting for Billy Wolf.
Mm-hmm.
And I would see him at the bigger hunts when I would go, like the Nationals. And his dad would always go out his way, talk to me, ask me how I'm doing.
Yeah.
Well, I thought, and after going through some handlers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I seen him post when I guess they decided to sell Connor. I seen him post, "Has anybody got a dog that needs to be handled or hunted? I'm looking for one."
Yeah.
Well, I hit him up on Facebook and said, "Hey, absolutely." Because I knew, here's the first thing that just, the way they carried themselves when they met with me the first time. Second thing is he's got a full-time job, a great family. And here's the thing. This is no matter how you look at it, it's a hobby.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Can you make a living at it? Absolutely. But he makes his living elsewhere. He enjoys the sport. So I thought, you know what? This could be a great fit.
Yeah.
So I hit him up on Facebook. He called me. He said, "What do you got?" I said, "I got Shooter." And I knew Shooter was a coon treater, but he had some problems.
Yeah.
Well, I thought this guy's been everywhere, so he can probably fix it.
Yeah.
Well, he gets him, and he said, "Let's try him." So So he gets him, and they go pleasure hunting, him and Brian, his dad. And he calls us, hey, I can go win the world with this thing. And in the back of my mind, if I could just build this relationship with Austin, I knew this dog wouldn't have won.
Yeah.
Because I knew he had some problems.
Yeah.
But he didn't quite see him on the pleasure hunt side. Most people didn't, because he was a coon tree.
Yeah.
And he said, this dog can win the world. I hung up the phone. I thought, man, this is something cool. About 3 weeks later, he said, we got to do something with this thing.
Yeah.
I said, just hang with me. We'll figure it out. Just find something. Just hang with me. I said, I knew we was rolling the dice on him, but just hang with me.
Yeah.
Well, we went from taking Shooter, traded him for Cuz, then we come across Cowboy.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, because here's the thing, you got to look at it from the standpoint. If I think a dog's the greatest dog ever, if I'm not traveling the roads every other weekend or handling that dog, it don't matter.
Yeah.
It's got to suit the handler.
Right.
They got to gel.
Right.
No matter what I think, if
Yeah.
it don't gel with the handler, it's no good.
Yeah.
Because he's going to hate him every time he turns loose.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I said, just hang with me, find what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he calls me up. He said, I found the one. I think it's going to be a good one. I said, okay, well, sell Shooter and go get him. If you think he's the one, go get him.
Yeah.
But this is going to be the biggest one I've bought.
Yeah.
So make sure
Yeah.
you really like him.
Yeah.
Well, so he went and got him. He's sending videos. He's treating coons. He's winning some casts. And so I guess it was the Nationals, right? So first time I ever seen, I pulled up at the Airbnb that they had got. I pulled up. I said, which one's Cowboy? Well, he points him out over his tied on the stake over there, and I go to pet him, and he runs from me. Wow. I said, I don't know if I like this dog. Well, the same weekend, Austin, they get on a cast, and there's a question. Well, Cowboy's treed through the country over here. He's won the cast, he's winning the cast due to this question. He said, he hands me the Garmin, and he says, take off and go get him. I said, are you kidding me? I said, no, go get him. So I take off. He's like 960. I'm walking through this field. And I get in this really nice hunting camp. There's cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
Cowboy's tree. I get him, and I didn't know, and he don't tell me he don't lead well. Greg, he drags me through this soybean field. I fall down. I get up, and I got those cockleburs all over me.
Mm-hmm.
I got back to trying. I said, man, I wasn't on this stupid dog.
He said, I don't care if I ever see this dog.
I don't want to see him again.
Yeah.
He ended up being really good to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been
and
great.
he's still being good. You know,
Yeah,
he's still good. We've
yeah,
got some
he's-
tough breaks, and he looked good this week up here. And
But I-
he's definitely not going to be put on the back.
No,
burner by
that's
no
right.
means. And
That's right. So,
me and Brian's built a lifelong friendship. If we quit coon hunting today, tomorrow, Brian's one of my very best friends.
and that's another thing. Again, me and Brian talking, and hearing him talk about you and your family, and I know you went on vacation together, and different things, and that's good stuff. You
That's
know what
more
I mean?
than-
That's
that's more than
yes, sir.
anything.
That's good stuff. But we'll close out here. What's Homer's strong points? I know it's hard to tell him in 2 weeks. What's his strong points, and what's he got to do to win here?
I think tonight, Scott's tough. He's been in this situation a bunch, and we've all been in some big situations. But I think in order for me to win tonight, I need to be the first dog treat out of the truck.
Yeah.
I know Buck's going to get struck probably ahead of him, and I need to be the first dog treat and get recut.
Yeah,
I feel like that's going to be the difference maker. I feel like no matter who gets treat first, it's going to be the dog to win.
Yeah.
And generally is in pro sport with a no leash law.
It is. It's a different, and again, talking about the fellowship and all that, it's a different ball game here.
It is.
I don't care. I don't care which one you go to, and I go to them all. It's a different ball game here.
But he seems to have his coons, so that is his strong point. That I've seen. He has his coons, but I need to be the first dog treat tonight, and I know that.
That's right. Kyle, you got anything for him before we
Yeah, I'd
let
like
him
to
on?
touch on a little bit on the fellowship. We've all been to every Registries World Hunt, and we like them all. We hunt all of them. But this is the only World Hunt that I've been to where all the handlers are getting here at 12, 1 o'clock. I mean, we're getting here 4 and 5 hours before deadline.
We have done, and that's something cool I think we've done too. We've had something going on here every single day. Cornhole tournaments, a gun bingo, Texas Hold'em tournaments. We've done everything here. Bench show today. It's been awesome. I said last night I got done and I got beat, and there's no. I mean, I take losing well because I lose a lot. I shows to a lot of people. That hey, I take it real well, but I hate losing worse than anything in the world. And I want to go home and sell my dog and get a new one and think the grass is greener on the other
you're
side.
The same way. We talked about that before.
Yeah, and it ain't always greener on the other side. But I told myself last night when I got back over at the camp, I said, man, we're going into the last night of the World Hunt here, and I cannot wait. And when I've been going all week, usually I'm sick of it, don't want to hunt, Sunday night or Monday and go Tuesday. But I cannot wait till next year to get back here to this World Hunt.
It's been
a blast. So closing out, guys, good luck to y'all.
Thank you so much.
That's good to see y'all in the final, the first one ever. And we'll be out there. I'll be doing some commentating. So we look forward. It'll be live here on D&D Sports and the Pro Sport page. And just good luck to y'all.
And once again,
I want to thank my wife back home, keeping the homestead straight. I love you, and I'll be on tomorrow.
Our viewers don't go anywhere. We do have one more interview left with our third finalist, Andrew Goss. So we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Thank y'all.
And we're back with our third and final contestant. Bring us right in, Greg.
All right, we're sitting here with 8 Second Ride and Andrew Goss, and co-owned by Todd Price. Is that right?
Yep.
So congratulations, Andrew. World Championship here. Is this your first World Hunt final?
Yep.
That's cool. How old are you, buddy?
31.
31 years old. I know you come from a good background of coon hunters. Your dad, and your uncle, and I grew up hunting with them guys, and it's good to see you sitting in here in this seat in the World Championship final cast here. I know when Ride was a puppy coming up. How old is Ride now?
He's 5.
He's 5. So when we first started, or Scott first started breeding rodeo and stuff, Ride was kind of the first one that started sticking out, that was really doing good in the hunts and stuff. I know you had him up in the state standings and all that stuff. And, he really impressed a lot of people at a young age, and you kind of held on to him. I know there were several people that was wanting to buy him, throughout time, but you've held on to him. Tell us a little bit about the female side. I know he come from a real good reproducing female.
Yeah.
Also.
Ray Paul's female, Bandits Wood Witch. I think it's something like Danner's, the Time Bandit dog.
Yeah.
Goes back to some of that. And, I mean, she's had a few litters, and I think there's about at least one or two good ones in each litter that's came out of it. So
yeah, so that's good. So Andrew, let's go into how you got here. You went to one of our regional qualifying events at Bucyrus, Ohio, and was the second night? Was the second night you got in? Maybe the only night you did. Yeah, you didn't hunt Friday night.
Yep.
Come over on Saturday night as a walk up, and went up there and doubled up. Start there and tell us a little bit about your hunt up there. So,
it was a good hunt. I mean, the first round, he treated a coon right out of the truck, and I cut him back loose, and he bombed through there like he normally does. And some of the other dogs kind of made some trees, and I didn't have to treat him again, and that's pretty much the end of the hunt there. And late round is kind of the same thing. He treated Ben out of the truck, and I recut him, and he only went about 400 yards, treated a coon, and that was pretty much it there.
Yeah.
It seemed like kind of a tough night.
Yeah.
But,
well, I know I was up there at Bucyrus, and anytime you go to Bucyrus, you're not drawing no cupcakes at Bucyrus, Ohio. You're not. It's kind of the hotbed of coon hunting.
Yeah.
It's you got the Stallard gang and them up there. If you go there, you're drawing one of them, and even Sissy now. You're drawing one of them that group. But so you got through there. You come here on Friday night. You got to rest up till Friday night. Called me earlier this week before this ever started and said, Greg, how can I help you? So, I appreciate you reaching out to me, asking for any help or anything,
Well, it's nice to have this basically in our backyard, Mount Gilead's a good place to have a hunt like this. TOC has it. They send casts to Jeff and they send casts to me, and I think it works.
Yeah, it does. This is an awesome place. You can go any direction an hour and be in phenomenal coon hunting. Don't matter where you go. We have put up some impressive scores this week here at the hunt. So go into your early round last night. Tell us a little bit about who you drawed. And
I drew Mickey Hale with Downtime, Micah with Rent.
Yeah.
And I think it was the female. Costner's Harper.
Yes. Yep. Herbie Harden. Yep. That's it. Yep. Scott Browning's dog.
And went back up towards home, and really ride treed two really quick out of the truck. And then Harper treed one, and Time was treed in there, and I think the two ended up catching him. And we walked like 0.7 something to ride. He had a den. Cut him back loose, and Rent had a coon. We went to her, and that was pretty much the end of that task.
Yeah, that's
we walked it out.
Some really good dogs there. Downtime and Rent both really good dogs. So late round, you draw back up kind of in the same area up there. Back up to Chad's, and I knew you drawed. You're in the top 10 and moving on. How'd you feel getting to the top 10 there? You're one cast away from the final cast. How?
It was a good feeling. I ain't gonna lie, I was pretty nervous going into that cast last night, and it started out, all the dogs got treated. They were all split. They all had coons, and it kind of worked out to where when I cut him loose, he kind of got through there, and the clip dog treated another coon, and the female, can't remember her name,
Cass or Cam?
Cass.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She made a bad tree, so it kind of put her back, with the board there. And then she treated another coon. So then the clip dog treated another coon, and Ward's dog was like a mile this way, and mine was a mile this way. So I think we both were a little nervous about that. And honestly, there was like 28 minutes left, and I was like, it's not going to work out for me. I only had 150 plus, Ward had 200. The other boy had 175. And just like that, it was the ball was in my court.
Yeah.
I think Ward took the two caught him, and then the clip dog made a bad tree, took a minus. and I treated him right at 1.08.
Yeah.
And he had a coon when we got there. So
I know we was following along on D&D here, and then their service kind of went out. They'd lost battery, and so we was trying to figure out who the winner was. And man, it seemed like I drove from you guys that started walking while we were still in the woods north of Bucyrus, and I was almost all the way back here to the club before you got that tree scored. So you guys done a ton of walking. And
we had to go to start heading towards that female, and the two caught her, and we were a mile and a half from ride. So by the time we got over to him, it seemed that was a long walk.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, it was. But I bet it was a good feeling going in there and seeing that coon and know you're going on to the final 3 of the world championship.
Yep.
So, very good. So Andrew, I'm sure you got, like I said, you come from a mom's side, dad's side, all coon hunters. So I'm sure you got some people you want to thank here before we roll off.
I'd like to thank my wife for putting up with all the time, and which you probably know that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And, my dad and my uncle, bringing me up to do that kind of stuff. So, and my partner, Todd Price, I've never met that dude.
Really?
Nope.
I'll be darned.
Never met him. He lives in Illinois, and he trusted me, and here we are. So it worked out real good.
Well, I can see it in your eyes and hear it in your voice. You're thankful to be here, and that's that to me. That's what this is all about. You're here. I'm happy to see you here, and wish you well. In the final. Kyle, you got anything you want to touch on him with?
No, I'd like to congratulate you. And he's in a cast with some tough handlers. So, and obviously, 8-second ride is no slouch. They're in this final cast, and we were suspenseful last night. And it came down to he kept his nose clean and treed coons.
Yeah. He, and I don't want to, you're probably the underdog. I'm going to put that out there.
Yeah.
You know that. I know your dog. I drawed your dog in the PKC World Hunt, semifinals or quarterfinals last year. I know your dog. I've seen your dog at the truck hunts. You got as good a dog as anybody else in this cast. You're as good a handler as anyone in this cast. Go out there and call your dog. Don't be nervous. It's hard not to be nervous.
Yeah.
I was in a World Hunt earlier this year. It's hard not to be nervous, but you got. I'm sure you've earned the viewers' respect, and you're probably a lot of people cheering you on here. So good luck to you, brother. We'll be going. We're going to leave. We're going to leave about. I think we're planning on leaving here about 7:30 and heading to the woods to head up. We've got about a 45-minute drive up to where we're hunting. We're going up north. You probably hunted where we're going to be hunting at. Up around the Stallards up in there. But so we got a long drive. You're not a long drive, but a good drive up there. We've scored on several coons in that area there this week. So won't be long. We'll be going live there with that, and we're going to get our cast photo here in just a second. But man, it's good to see you here.
Yeah,
it's good to see you here.
Thank you.
Good job.
Yeah. So before we close this out, we would like to tell all of our viewers to stay tuned tonight. We will be going live from the woods to watch the world champion be crowned here, Greg. So once again, this is brought to you by the D&D Sports Network. Thank you.